Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to lacto-ferment some salsa. Lacto-fermentation is gaining in popularity again, but it's actually been around for centuries. It's the oldest form of preserving food, and it has a bunch of nutritional benefits, which I will mention while we're preparing our salsa. So let's begin.
What you're going to need for today is a few pounds of tomatoes. You can use a variety or just one variety if you like. 4 to 6 peppers. I use a combination of jalapenos and serranos. Feel free to get creative with that as well, even habaneros. 2 to 3 garlic cloves. A teaspoon each of ground cumin, oregano, coriander, and sea salt. The juice of 1 lime. 4 tablespoons of whey, or a starter from a previous lacto-ferment, 1 onion, 1 bunch of cilantro, and ground peppercorn to taste. What you want to do first is wash all of your produce. I like to use vinegar or hydrogen peroxide. Sprinkle that over, scrub it, let it sit, and then rinse. So let's do that now. Why I'm so excited about this recipe is because not only is it delicious, but it's so good for you. Fermenting foods just preserves all of the nutrients and multiplies them basically. You end up with all of these wonderful probiotics that not only clean your gut, but prevent illness from taking up residence there, as well as the rest of your body. Traditional cultures knew how beneficial these fermented foods were, so much so that they ate a fermented condiment with pretty much every meal to aid their digestion. I don't know if you've noticed by now, but I'm what you might call a nutrition nerd. I get really excited about how beneficial food can be for your body. So another great thing about this salsa is that tomatoes contain a lot of vitamin C, which we know is awesome for you, but they also contain a large amount of lycopene, which is beneficial in protecting you against cancer. So what I like to do when I'm making a chunky salsa is add the tomatoes last so that they don't get pureed into a paste. Make sure that whatever ingredients you decide to use, you're using the best that you can find. If the best isn't organic, that's fine. At least you're eating whole foods. But the best would be organic, non-GMO, as few pesticides as possible, best soil, biodynamic is great. That will just maximize the nutrients that you're getting in your food. Once you have half of your tomatoes cut up, peel, slice, and quarter your onion, peel your garlic cloves, and add half of all the ingredients except the tomatoes to the food processor. We'll add the tomatoes and cilantro last. Now you're going to do the same thing with the second half of the ingredients. combine them all into the food processor, and then we'll mix both batches together in a bowl so that we have some consistency. Like I said earlier, I'm kind of a nutrition nerd, so I've picked up bits and pieces along the way, but most of my information comes from the Nourishing Traditions cookbook by Sally Fallon and Mary Enoch, as well as the Weston A Foundation's website and their podcast, Wise Traditions. So that's where most of my knowledge comes from, that I've kind of just adapted as second nature. So if you like my videos and you like the food that I'm making and you want to give traditional nutrition a try, that's where I would recommend starting, is pick up the Nourishing Traditions cookbook from your library or go to the Weston A. Foundation's website. Also, the Wise Traditions podcasts are very helpful. Now that we have combined both batches, we're going to taste it and see if we need to add any more salt and pepper or other spices. Perfect. Alright, now we are ready to jar it. This part can get a little messy if you're me, so I won't make you all watch this part, but however you can get it into the jars is just fine. There you have it, 2 quarts of lacto-fermented salsa. So what you're going to do now is close the lids and let these sit at room temperature for 3 days, after which you can transfer to cold storage where they'll continue to ferment. So while they are fermenting at room temperature, you might notice a lot of activity inside the jars, lots of bubbling. You'll need to release the lids each day, check on them, and make sure they're not overflowing. If the chunks separate from the liquid, just mix them back up together and put the lid back on.
That was fun. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoy your lacto-fermented salsa. Make sure to leave a comment below, press the thumbs up if you liked my video, and subscribe to my channel so that you can be alerted each week when I post a new video about traditional cooking. See you next time. Bye.